All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, whereas that the off season between year one and year two is so vital for young players in the National Football League, wide receiver Kadarius Toney was a no-show for the New York Giants' voluntary off-season program, which could mark the beginning of the end of his time with Big Blue. Now, Tony was a questionable first round selection by the Giants last year due to multiple off the field issues during his time at the University of Florida. Tony was drafted by the Giants by the team's former general manager, Dave Gettleman, but it's a new regime for New York with Joe Shane inserted as the team's general manager and with Brian Dayball as the team's head coach. And as this is a time that players have to ingratiate themselves to the new regime, Tony is not doing so. And I previously said that all players on this roster should be on notice following the arrival of Shane and Dayball. And, we've seen some players already get cut or shipped out of town, and Tony could be the next casualty. Now, in 10 games for the Giants last season, Tony had 39 catches for 420 yards with zero touchdowns, but you could see the potential due to his speed, his agility, and his ability to weave in and out of traffic. But I do believe Tony is going to have to work on that potential with a different NFL team next season, as Shane is seeking to cut bait with a player that he didn't draft. Now, yes, the Giants did draft Tony in the first round, but they might not get a first rounder in exchange for him due to his excess baggage. Now, to me, the Indianapolis Colts, Kansas City Chiefs, and Green Bay Packers make the most sense for teams to try to go out there and acquire Tony from the Giants. I think this is the Giants are going to try to make this move prior to the NFL draft, which begins on Thursday. But I don't see a team parting with the first round pick for him. I could be wrong, but I don't see the Chiefs, who do have two first round picks, giving New York either one of those. But they do have the 50th overall selection in the second round, which could be enticing to the Giants. The Colts don't have a first round pick, but they have the 42nd overall pick, while Green Bay has a 53rd and 59th overall selections, and both of those fall in the second round. So maybe they could find a way to package those for Tony. And then this is just, just guessing right here. It's not saying, okay, this is, or speculation rather. It's nothing obviously is, etched in stone. But make no mistake about it, somebody is going to take a chance on Tony due to his potential. And even if he lives up to that potential with another team, I think it'll be worth for the Giants to move on from him, because the thing is, you need character guys in your locker room if you're going to be able to win. And this is a situation right now for both Shane and Dayball. They're looking to change the culture in that Giants locker room. And I didn't see, there was too many question marks for Tony coming in with the Giants, and being in that locker room right now where losing is expected. I don't see a guy like him, you know, being a fit that's going to improve things on and off the field. To me, Tony makes he's the perfect project for Andy Reid and the Chiefs. I mean, because you look at it, Kansas City, they just traded Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins, and it's a situation they do have a voided wide receiver. You have Patrick Mahomes, who is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, and they need a guy who they can get the football to deep. And Andy Reid has always been about reclamation projects, and I think a guy like Tony would really suit well with him. For the Colts, I mentioned them because they run the football so effectively, and they need that second receiver. But they could be enticed by the receivers coming out of college this year in the NFL draft, and the same thing can go for the Green Bay Packers. But maybe they draft a quarterback, I mean a wide receiver in the first round, but then maybe they give one or maybe two of those second round picks to the Giants and say, hey, you know what? Let's really stockpile the wide receiver position after they traded Devontae Adams to the Raiders. Now, when it's all said and done, and when the smoke clears, and I do think that Tony will be gone sooner rather than later, it just shows, number one, that Shane and Dayball, they're showing that this is a new day for the Giants, and it's going to be their way or the highway, and rightfully so, because when you're taking over a franchise that has been so bad for so long, it's all about the culture change, and everybody has to buy into what you're selling. And I don't think Tony bought in last year, and I darn sure don't think he's buying in this year because this is a head coach and GM who did not draft him. Now, yes, it's a voluntary workout, but it's still not a good look for Tony when so many of your teammates have shown up. You're still the new kid on the block, and then on top of that, this is a new head coach, a new system, and a new general manager. And you're really not making a good look for yourself at this point. Like I said, the off the field issues, that's going to be something as well. But at the end of the day, I think this is another example of Joe Shane just trying to right some of the wrongs that were left behind by former Giants general manager Dave Gettleman. And Gettleman made so many risky and questionable moves, whether through the draft or free agency, that has really set this Giants franchise back for quite some time now. And of course, we know about the futility that the Giants have had in recent years. And, it's hard to believe that this team was just contending for the Super Bowl title about a decade ago. But nonetheless, this is a situation in the case that this franchise finds themselves in right now. So when it's all said and done, I think this deal goes down prior to the NFL draft. I think the Giants will get some draft compensation back from Mr. Tony. Might not be a first round pick. I highly doubt it, but you never know. Maybe Joe Shane has the gift of gab. We'll have to wait and see. But the bottom line is this: I think it's right for the Giants to try to cut bait. You have to, make a move, but more importantly, you have to make some noise, and you also have to show the other 52 guys in that locker room or who want to be in that locker room that you got to be all in and you got to be committed to the program and you have to be committed to what both Joe Shane and Brian Dayball are selling. So I was shocked that the Giants drafted Tony last year. I'm shocked that they've given up on him so quickly. But at the end of the day, I'm not shocked that Shane and Dayball are trying to do things their way, establish their program, and try to get this once proud Giants franchise out of the rut that they've been in for very long. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off. I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.